up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going, Celtic Warriors game?
Soda.
And I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
Fella.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Finally, the Ironics have come back to Wrestling on the Rocks. That's right. This is Wrestling on the Rocks, where every show is our first show. I am at Ref Marsh. We are at WOTR, the show. And with me, as per usual, the other half of the legendary podcasting duo, Kevlar on the Rocks.
What's up, everyone? How y'all doing?
L'chaim.
Cheers.
Yeah, welcome to the dive bar of the IWC. Come have a drink, pull up a stool, or drop a stool, whatever you want to do, as long as you're
I was
comfortable.
gonna say, just don't leave a stool. That's what I was going to say.
You just can't leave one. Pull up a stool, but don't leave one. Do not
Don't
leave
leave
one behind. What? What'd I say? What did I say?
It's just a little squeaker.
Yeah, it was just probably the chair. These chairs are crazy. I've had
Yeah.
this old rickety thing.
That's what happens when you pull up a stool.
Yeah, that's the noise of pulling up a stool. You ever drag a stool against tile? Yeah, that's the noise. That's what it is. So now that we're all in the environment, now we've all placed you there by sight, sound, and smell. You're within the dive bar.
Definitely in a dive bar with that smell.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now what's in my glass. I'm having Pendleton whiskey. Kevlar, what's in your glass?
I just went with the OG Crown, the purple stuff.
The old Crown. Have you tried those little mixer drinks? The canned ones?
I got some, but I haven't tried them yet.
Okay, I was just wondering. I knew you had a couple. I didn't know if you tried them yet. I want to know what you think when you have them. Because I enjoyed them. I enjoyed them back when I had them. Kev, it was a good week for wrestling, don't you think?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I guess we'll get
overall,
into it.
yeah.
Talk about it. Yeah. I was excited. I thought it was really good overall. But, yeah. Good stuff. Just getting my drink here ready. I'm trying to think what the other business was. I think this weekend, we're going to do a watch-along for Extreme Rules. I think we're going to do one with Bishop. So if you're around and you want to do it, otherwise maybe I'll ask Lunar. Maybe we'll just be me and Bishop one-on-one. But I think we're going to go back to watch-alongs. We haven't been able to for a bit. We definitely couldn't for SummerSlam because you and me were right there at SummerSlam. So
in the action.
So, yeah. Oh, man. I'm excited. It's good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, there was something else I had on the tip of my tongue, and it's just gone. So I'm going to talk about news then. You want to get into the news?
Sure.
I don't have much. There's very little news. I do want to say tears in our beers for Stu Schwartz, a referee from back in the territory days, has passed away. I was looking up matches he was in, and there were some pretty notable ones, but there was nothing that I was able to go back and watch or anything. I don't think there was a lot that I found on YouTube specifically, because it's also hard to search by ref. You know what I mean? That stuff's just not out there that way. Yeah. So, but he was apparently.
A lot of times.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, a lot of times they don't put it as a description.
Yeah.
It's just so and so versus so and so. It's not, ref by type of thing. Anyway.
100%. And even when they do list it, it's usually in the description and not in the title, so it's hard to find as well.
Mm-hmm.
But he was an NWA ref, so cheers and tears in our beers to him.
Cheers.
Well, I'm gonna do the little stuff before we get into the big stuff. There's a few things going on here. Miz is gonna be on Wheel of Fortune. Miz is doing Dancing with the Stars. He's already done that splash thing. What do you think about this, Kev? Miz on Dancing with Stars and on Wheel of Fortune.
I'm glad. Good for him. He's going to be off of wrestling for a while. I like it.
I think I like that he'll be away from wrestling for a moment. It'll give a few people a chance to blossom. I do think that it is, to me, funny that he has always been touted, even in kayfabe, as the A-lister, and everything says A-lister, and then he's like fucking contestant on Wheel of Fortune. You're like, yeah, dude, yeah, that's red carpet.
Hey, he's still red carpet enough to have some mansion in LA, so, I mean.
I don't think he does have a mansion in LA. I think he's got a mansion in Ohio.
That doesn't mean shit.
Oh, that's a good point.
Red carpet, just because you have a big-ass house doesn't mean you belong on the red carpet.
Nope. If I have a mansion, I'm an A-lister.
No. Them's the rules.
Nope.
But I'll producer lady here, as a dancer, I will say that he wasn't horrible on Dancing with the Stars. And you also got to remember that they, like, got to learn that stuff in a short amount of time. So I thought that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also cool to see just like a wrestler out there, you know, to fans that don't watch wrestling, well, to viewers that don't watch wrestling. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's following in the footsteps of Nikki Bella.
All right.
That's good. I wonder when we get the Miz wine.
Oh. I'm still waiting on Carmella's wine. She's shipped it out to all the superstars.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting on mine.
All of the superstars and friends of hers, she sent out like a special little box that had the bottle of wine in there, and it had a wine stopper to put in there, and on the top of it says "quitter." Yeah. So if you open the wine, you don't finish it, and you have to pause on it. It's like "quitter." I thought it was really good. That was clever. Dude, we're gonna go. We got the news. We got the tickets. We're doing it. Nick Gage versus Minoru Suzuki at GCW in LA next month. We're gonna go check that out. Are you familiar with either Minoru Suzuki or Nick Gage?
I've heard of Nick Gage, but that's about it.
Not Suzuki. They refer to him in Japan as Murder Grandpa because he is so like seemingly violent and scary. When I saw his match, the first match I saw his was Wrestle Kingdom. I think it was like 13 or 14 or something. I remember just watching because Clump had given me the password. He goes, "Oh, you should watch it." There was the one that Jericho was going there to face Kenny. And I was like, I'll check it out. Seems cool. And I was like, you know what? I'll watch the whole thing. I'll take a couple of days to do it because it's like a 9-hour program. And as I was watching through it, when I got to his match, I was like, who the fuck is this patchy-haired old man trying to kill someone in the ring? And he goes, fucking great, right? And I was like, it was amazing. Like, the dude's crazy. So he's coming to America. He hasn't done much in America. He's going to be out here for like a month. He's going to have a match against Nick Gage, and we're going to go check it out.
I haven't seen any of his stuffs, and we've been meaning to do a watch-along, and we just haven't had a chance, but...
Yeah, maybe we'll sort that out. Well, it's going to be tough this weekend. God damn it. We've been trying to make that work. It's been tough. I've been so busy.
Where's it going to be held at?
Ukrainian Cultural Center in LA. That's where GCW does all their stuff. And the day before, they're doing Bloodsport. So I'm going to go check that out, I think, too. So, Josh Barnett, big fan. Happy birthday, Gerald Briscoe of famed Stooges. Yay! Cheers to Gerald Briscoe.
Mm-hmm. Cheers.
Yeah, very good, very good. I don't. Oh, you know, I do have a small Gerald Briscoe story. When I was working stagehand for a company here in town, we did a Smackdown, I think it was, came through Tucson, and I was in catering, getting something to eat, and when I sat down, well, first off, when I was in line getting my food, I remember like scooping like a little thing of ice cream or something. I remember as I put my spoon in, when I'm holding an empty bowl, I put my spoon in and I looked to the side of me and it's Sergeant Slaughter. And I just went, oh, fuck. And I just started tapping the bowl and then tapping the ice cream like I'm scooping, but I'm not. And it took me a few motions because I was like, play it cool, play it cool. And I'm looking, I was like, oh, I'm just tapping shit. I'm not doing anything. And so I like scurried away and sat down. And as soon as I sat down, Gerald Briscoe and Pat Patterson sat right behind me on the table next to me. And I was like, oh, God. Yep. Let's see, running through the news stuff. We'll talk about that when we get to that segment. There was... Let's see, there's this. There's that. MLW's going to have a featherweight division for their women and do a little title for it. It's going to be pretty cool. Pretty excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit. I thought I had one other thing here, and...
We are sponsored by Flow State Coffee.
Yeah, go ahead. You do the read. I won't do it. Sponsored by Flow State Coffee, which is a specialty grade coffee with L-theanine and raw cacao for productivity and creativity. Gives you better energy, focus, and mood than a regular cup of coffee while decreasing the negative side effects like anxiety and blood pressure. Dude, when I tell you this guy, the guy who owns it, is a wrestling fan, like, no joke. They redesigned the bag and the font on it, and they used the font based off the Cow Palace. Their old sign.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He was like,
Nice.
I need more wrestling stuff in here.
And Lance Storm's always shouting him out because he was a student of Lance Storm. So,
Yeah.
yeah, go check it out.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man. So, cheers to New Wave. Go to newwave.co, NOOWAVE.co. Put in promo code CHEERS to get 10% off. Oh, my God. Man, I come up with all this stuff that I was like definitely going to talk about. And then I just don't jot it down because I was like, well, I'll get to that in like 3 seconds. And then it's gone in 2. This is bad news, man. Maybe we should just get into the shows. And we'll just get into it. And then a lot of dead air, a lot of confusion. And then we'll talk about stuff as we get to it. If something comes up, you know what I mean? Hey, Kev, I know you said you started watching NXT 2.0 like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Have you watched any more of it?
No.
No. All right. Well.
Wow, they already lost you.
Yeah, well, that's that, I guess. All right, well, let's
Just
talk
busy.
Friday Night Smackdown. Let me pull it up. It opened up with... Oh, my God. Oh, this is awful. Oh, Jesus. How did it open? Did it open with Roman? Oh, my God. This is bad news. Oh, hold on. I was not prepared. I was not prepared for this. No, Jesus.
Kev, do you remember how it opened?
Do you remember how it opened? 5 days ago.
I want to say it was Big E, but I don't remember, truthfully.
That sounds familiar. No, son of a bitch.
See,
Here's what
my
I'm gonna
problem
do.
is like I'm not able to watch it live just because I get off work like half hour in. So by the time I get home, it's already like an hour in the show. So I can't remember.
Yeah,
But do you,
100%. It's right here.
do you know now?
Yeah, it opened up. Oh my God, it opened up with the New Day coming out. No, it opened up with Roman. Fucking God. Sometimes I wish we weren't live, dude. Sometimes I wish we just start over.
Yeah, this is a bad day to go live.
I'm gonna cheers into that drinking. I do think SmackDown this week and last week were so fucking good. But we had Roman cutting his promo, and while he's doing the promo, Big E comes out. What I love about when Big E came out, Roman shoots a look to Paul Heyman. Looks at him like, what the fuck's the matter with you? To Paul. And I loved it because to me that was like lower level. Because this was the whole like acknowledge me. And right when he's trying to get acknowledged, Big E comes out. He looks at Paul Heyman like, what the fuck's the matter with you? These are those little details that I really like. Because to me what it signified is Roman is getting frustrated with Paul. Because Paul is supposed to be his wise man. He's always saying wise man this and wise man that. But wise man never seems to know what the fuck is going on in Roman's business. How wise can Heyman be if he doesn't know when Brock Lesnar's going to be there? When he doesn't know that Big E's lurking around when he's not even on that show? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yes. Yes. No, I agree with it. Like, you know, he even made reference to it. Like, I don't pay you to, what do you say? I don't pay you to think. I pay you to know, or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like, ooh, that was nice.
Yeah. 100%. So they do their promo back and forth. Finn Balor ends up coming out, and you get Big E, Finn Balor against the Usos. I love this match, man.
It was a great match. The only thing is, I swear that one of the announcers said that it's for a future title match. I was like, why?
Maybe. I could see them saying that because they've been talking about those number one contenders matches a lot.
Yeah, but then I didn't go back and watch it, but I don't know if they were referring to, because they said something about title implications and stuff like that, and
yeah,
I just didn't get it. Don't know why. I hope they don't do that.
Yeah, I have no desire to see Big E and Finn Balor continue on as a tag team. I liked the kind of one spot there to kind of show that they're both fucking dominant over the SmackDown champions. I know people get mad at that when they're all like, oh, the tag team champions just lost against a non-tag team. But when you have like a world champion and a former Universal champion, I don't think it hurts the tag team champions to lose a match to two guys of that caliber.
Yeah. And you got to show, because that was one of my biggest criticisms of Raw, and obviously we'll get there, but you want to show your newly crowned champion to be dominant. And so he beats up the tag team. It's not a big deal, especially the way he won it. I'm going to cash in, and waited till after Bobby and Randy were, beat the piss out of each other, and so. Yeah, I have no problem with the match. The way it ended, nothing like that. Good match.
Yeah, I loved it. Those guys are all so good. And then you had that backstage segment with Roman and Paul Heyman shooting the shit. Roman getting all mad at Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's trying to convince him that he has no idea about Brock. And I like that Roman's like starting to test him too. He goes, Paul, just tell me what I already know. And I go, shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. All right, is that right, wise man? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And once again with the facial expressions, like the doubt in Paul Heyman's eyes, like he plays it so well where he's like, you believe he's contemplating. Does he actually know? And it's great.
It's amazing. The facial expressions Paul Heyman does is like it's incredible. And Roman too. Roman is so good. When he was on Raw, it just made Raw feel super important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I yes, but I don't like it.
Sure, we'll get to that. But
yeah.
I had it's not to discount someone else, but like when Big E showed up on Raw with the Money in the Bank, it was like, oh, this is neat, but it didn't make it feel like truly that much more important. It just was something that was interesting and worth watching. You know what I mean?
But he tweeted out that he was going to be there, and I think on the Friday on Smackdown before he said that he was going to be there.
Yeah.
So
he's going to go, oh,
like,
it's
if
cool.
he would have just, but if he would have just showed up, it would have been like, oh, that's interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, it would have been cool, but I don't think it makes it feel like more important. But with Roman going to Raw, it feels like, oh shit, this is an important episode to watch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a major crossover. And like I said, I'm not trying to discount Big E in any way because I think Big E's fucking phenomenal. And then having the champions pop on each other's shows, especially as you get closer to Survivor Series, they obviously have to start building towards that. I think having the crossover there is good. Yeah.
But see, and this is why I don't like the crossover, is because we're so close to the draft. And I don't like, the crossover bullshit right now. I think after the draft and during the draft, cool. That's fine. But for 2 weeks now, I don't like it.
Well, I mean, because Survivor Series is champion versus champion, I don't think that there's anything wrong with the idea of teasing the champions that might get in the ring together.
Yeah, but then why? Yeah, but the Usos are over there. It's not like they challenged. Who the hell's the Raw Tag Team champs? Oh, RK Bro.
Yeah, that's because it was the factions. Roman went there to confront Big E, so he had his boys. So Big E had his boys.
But that's what. Yeah, but that's one of the things. Like I thought it was going to lead up to an actual Survivor Series. not champions versus champion. Like that, I was excited for it for a minute on Raw.
It still might,
And
because
then
I think that I wouldn't
I
have
think it
any issue
should.
with it if they don't. You know what I mean? Or if they do it, like I think I think you tease it now because you can pull the trigger on it later. And they've even teased
Yeah,
other
but
partners with them both. You know what I mean? Like having Finn Balor come out. You know what I mean? Like that could start to flesh out that team.
Well, like I think they should have a New Day team and a Bloodline team.
Yeah.
You know, and not necessarily have to be a part of the Bloodline, but I think that'd be great. I think an actual Survivor Series match, but then they already said, hey, it's going to be champion versus champion. So they lost me on it.
Well, I mean, they said that it doesn't have to go that way, but at the same time, do you really want to be cheated out of a one-on-one with Big E and Roman?
I think it would have been okay on SmackDown a while back, but champion versus champion against them, yeah, that's fine. But that's one of my biggest criticisms of Survivor Series these last few years is that it's just brand versus brand.
Yeah,
and it's stupid to put brand over brand, and like when they did it with NXT, it was dumb.
Yeah.
And I want them to go back to actual Survivor Series, but that also leads to, a lot of times there were factions, and there's hardly any factions anymore.
Yeah.
3 people aren't a faction; they're just a group.
Yeah, a cluster. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of champion versus champion to a degree, but I do think that it's a bit tired at this point because the whole idea of it before was that Stephanie was running one show and Shane was running another, and it was like this battle of the brands, or my show is better than your show, and my champions are better than your champions, and they did this thing.
and
but at the end of the day, it worked for like a year or two, but ultimately it started to lose its fizzle real quick too, because it was like these bragging rights that never got bragged upon.
Well, it never got bragged upon, and it never won anything.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't it last year or 2 years ago that wasn't it like the Royal Rumble spot up for grabs or something like that, and it's like, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that 1 year when they first did it, and it was Shane versus Stephanie, my team's better than your team, blah blah blah. That was fine. I was okay with it. But after that, nah, didn't like it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was expecting like a New Day versus Bloodline, like Survivor Series match. If that's what they get to, like, fuck yeah, even do just 4-on-4, just add one to each team, or 5-on-5. Fine, do it.
No, I'd be cool with that too. Can you imagine too if Cena came back and joined the Bloodline?
Right?
Be so good, just being like, yeah, fuck you, Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Goddamn right I did.
I acknowledge you. Yeah.
So good.
But dude, you could throw so many people in there. Like you could throw Seth in on the Bloodline, and Edge joins New Day. Like you can have like decent squads. Because Roman and Seth have kind of teetered on being in cahoots for a while now.
That's true, and Seth is really, even in his Edge storyline of wanting to get back towards the Universal title, it was never against Roman. It was just for the title. You know what I mean? Like, I want gold because that's kind of what I do. It's kind of who I am, and I haven't had it in a while, and I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when they went nose to nose, when the Usos were getting in Seth's business, it was all like, Seth fit real comfortably in that top spot conversation with Roman, and it was like, holy shit, like it almost gave me chills for a second just thinking about it again, because it's like you think of how good he's doing, but he is kind of, for better or worse, and no disrespect, I've talked about it a bunch of times, he's been kind of in a mid-card storyline for quite some time, and I don't mean that in a negative way so much as I mean it as in it's literally the middle of the show that his segments pop up, and so it can be overlooked as like, oh, he's not main event, where we've talked about it before. You have main event talent in a mid-card segment, that's fucking fantastic,
Yeah, and it's not that he's underperforming by any means.
No,
it's just that's where his storyline is right now.
Exactly. But when he shows up with Roman, you go, oh, it is only a matter of literal placement on where he fits. Like, he can absolutely hang up here. So, and still, because that's the other thing too, is when you think about Roman, it's always like, well, who can knock him down? Who's even near that level? Who can even stand face to face with him? And when Seth shared the screen with him that couple of times, it was like, oh shit, it could definitely be Seth.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, because Crown Jewel is going to happen before Survivor Series, right?
I believe that is true.
So, you know, I don't know how long Brock's here for. If he's just collecting that Crown Jewel paycheck. And even if he is and he's done after that, you know, you have an immediate storyline where Seth's on the bloodline. You can even have Roman saying, hey, it's, you know, somebody I can trust, and then, you know, or whatever, and he turns his back on Roman.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. I think there's a lot you can do there, and that'll be more interesting than, because if they have just champions versus champions, like, obviously I'll watch, but I'm not intrigued by anything because no one gains anything. No storylines continue. Nothing happens besides champions versus champions.
That's true. And when we get to Raw, we'll talk about it, because I don't know if the triple threat was teaser enough to go, I definitely have to see a one-on-one versus the idea of saying, yes, Big E definitely belongs in this picture. You know what I mean? Like, I think it was really fantastic in solidifying that Big E absolutely belongs and fits and has no issues hanging up at the top of the card with everybody else. It really solidified him as a main event talent to me. But when you kind of talk it out, it's a little bit like, do I need to see him one-on-one with Roman? Is that going to prove anything to me? Yeah, kind of not really. You know?
Yeah.
Am I going to turn it down?
Way, like,
no, I'm not going to turn down the match.
Yeah.
But would I would probably rather the Survivor Series one and have a story build out of that for the Universal title than just strictly have a champion versus champion match. I think you're right, though. I'm tired of the champion versus champion thing.
Yeah. And, you know, once we get to Raw, but like I said, with the outcome, like, I think if you have Big E versus Roman one-on-one, you know, where do you go from there? If Big E beats Roman, okay. But he beat him, but, you know, he finally lost after all this time. So he does have a chink in his armor. Or you put Roman over Big E again, and it just makes the Universal title, or Roman, you know, that much more powerful over Big E.
Yeah,
when you're supposed to be building him up, especially since this was his first run.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's still such a new champion. But I did love it when Roman beat the shit out of Drew McIntyre last year. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing Roman win was really satisfying.
Yes.
Yeah, was Drew even on Raw this week?
No.
He wasn't. No wonder I loved Raw this week. There was no Miz, no Drew. I was like, wow, this is all a bunch of good shit. What's going on here?
They're solidifying their tag team now? We'll get there. Let's continue.
Yeah, you're right. Let's keep going on SmackDown. We'll get there. Because I got some shit to say. We had Rick Boogs versus Robert Roode. I don't have an issue with this, but I don't know what we're doing with it. And what it really does is make me wonder what the fuck happened to Elias. He's dead, but now he's like actually dead.
Yeah. Well, that, and to me, Rick Boogs is outshining Shinsuke, and he's the IC champion, and Shinsuke's not performing at all.
That's true. Do you think we get to Boogs versus Shinsuke?
I was wondering about that, but I don't know. Do you have a heel Boogs?
Fuck, dude, you just put like a pit in my stomach just thinking about it. Like, the Intercontinental title was always seen as like the workhorse title, and it was always like, oh, I mean, and you had the IC Open Challenge and stuff by Seth and somebody else one time, and probably another person. And when you think about it, you did have some pretty good stuff there with Big E and Apollo for the IC title for a while. And then once they gave it over to Shinsuke, it was like, holy shit, here we go. We're going to get some fucking stellar Shinsuke.
And that's it. Now we got Boogs. That's it.
We ended up with
That's one of
Boogs,
the
and the Intercontinental title is looking an awful lot like the 24/7 title nowadays.
Yeah.
You
Well,
got
that's why I
one
was
goofy
like-
dude running around with it.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why when you're like, oh, we had great wrestling this week, I was like, yeah, no, yeah. Because the more I think about it, I'm like, yo, this, like I said, Shinsuke's won it. He's only defended it once, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and then at the end of the match, Apollo Crews does come out, talks some mad shit on Shinsuke. He wants that title back, so maybe we'll get a really good Shinsuke Apollo match out of this coming up.
Yeah.
But you're right. At this point, they're really undermining. But that's what happened last time Shinsuke was Intercontinental Champion, now that you mention it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remember he disappeared for a while and then showed up just in time to get the new title and then disappeared again?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they give him all this steam. They give him the belt, and then he's gone.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's doing like some Japanese tour with it.
Oh, I don't know. I know they're in Europe right now. They're like doing Scotland and UK and places like that. So I don't think that's close to Japan. But who knows? Maybe that's what their next stop. Maybe that is something they want to do is have a champion Shinsuke out there. It's possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ziggler's doing a show with full like stand-up thing. Yeah, it sounds like them. That'll be fun. Anybody who's in town, wherever that town happens to be, check it out. All right, well, moving right along, we got Kevin Owens versus Happy Corbin. And I liked the breakdown of all the different Corbin and Owens stuff with the money, the promo that Kevin cut right before he goes out. What did you think about this?
I thought it was good. I mean, it's once again just having the mid card be two talented dudes that can entertain you.
Wait, what the fuck happened? Did they not have the match? Hold on. Oh, no, the match is... Oh, yeah. Kevin gets fucking bum rushed by Corbin. The match doesn't happen.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that it continued the storyline for, what was it, Extreme Rules.
Yes.
Which that's the other thing that's pissing me off right now, so I might as well say it.
Go ahead.
Is Extreme Rules hasn't said one extreme fucking match or one stipulation match.
On Twitter today, they announced that Finn Balor versus Roman is going to be an Extreme Rules match.
That's stupid. That makes no fucking sense.
It makes no sense, and I don't know why they did it on Twitter.
Yeah.
They keep doing that shit, man.
Like Happy Corbin and KO, like they have animosity towards each other and stuff like that. I can see that being Extreme Rules.
You know, too, Demon Finn Balor used to come out with a chainsaw. Do you think for an Extreme Rules match he brings out a chainsaw and wins via chainsaw?
Or they immediately disqualify him and say, no, you can't do that.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Hold on.
Not that extreme.
Jesus! Yeah. I can see that for sure. But yeah, Happy Corbin and Kevin Owens, they definitely need to do some sort of stipulation in there. And I think they'll kill it too. I did like Happy Corbin being a total dick and still being all happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm into it.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the action figure that comes out and he's just looks like a fucking guy who lives in Miami. The action figure. You know what I mean? Just like a fucking Hawaiian t-shirt with slacks and a fucking fedora. It comes with like a little fucking handful of cash or something. Like, it's going to be like the lamest toy that's going to be so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gross.
What? After
He's
the
adjusting his seat.
Yeah, it's my seat. We went over this. My seat's rickety.
God.
Butt keeps farting.
Need some WD-40 for that thing.
Yeah, I'm about to blow some WT-40 up in it. We got Seth Rollins cut a promo where he was talking about how he didn't feel bad about what he did to Edge. Do you think it was coincidental that he was dressed kind of like a Tin Man? It was all foil. Tin Man without a heart.
I think you're reading too much into it.
I think you're a dick. Oh, dude, did they air the McAfee Minute?
Oil can. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah.
It's awesome.
I was gonna bring that up. I love that they did that. And they do show Cole just sitting there with his head down.
Yeah. Just trying to be inconspicuous. Just leave me out of this. And he gets dragged
out.
Yeah.
He's a when they said we're going to an SEC school and mentioned Tennessee, I got so excited. But Michael Cole said that the only SEC school he wants to go to is Alabama. And then he said roll Tide. It's so good. Okay. So great.
McAfee's so funny.
I think
I love this town.
I'm willing to bet WWE realize how much attention that's been getting, because it was, how many live events have you gone where they have like that, the intermission, somebody's talking about something, but I think it's gotten, people have been talking about it so much that WWE's like, let's show a little snippet of it.
Yeah, let's put it on. Because the other thing too is that before they aired it, the video clips would leak online anyways, and everyone would watch it and share it like crazy, and it would start trending because like, look what McAfee said to the crowd. It's like, just fucking put it on TV. People want to see this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's so good. Anything you want to say about the Seth promo?
I liked it. I mean, I'm glad he's asking for a rubber match.
Yes.
Hopefully. I know they just said Edge is at home recuperating, so I don't know if they're gonna like put it off until like a Mania or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that I'm excited when it happens.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be if Edge came back and I'm here, let's do it at the Extreme Rules match number 3. I think that'd be a waste. Even Survivor Series, I think it'd be a waste. You want him to recuperate, or heal.
Yeah. Yeah, I think big matches like that got to be on SummerSlams and Rumbles and WrestleManias and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree, and I'm excited to see another one. They're so good.
I miss Great Balls of Fire. God damn it.
Yeah, Great Balls of Fire was a good one. Favorite logo of all WWE pay-per-views, to be honest. 2 meatballs with a fire schlong blowing out of it.
Mm-hmm.
What? So they did a couple clips throughout this show, Kev, as you know, of Bianca Belair roaming around Knoxville, Tennessee.
From Knoxville.
From Memphis, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
She was going around. She went to her old school. She was dancing around the hallways, teaching people how to use soap. What a good representative would do in a hillbilly town like Knoxville.
Yeah. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. But no, so they had her doing all that stuff in her hometown. I thought that was really cool, and it was all building up towards a homecoming that we'll get to in a bit. But I just thought it was interesting to me that there was multiple storylines throughout this show, and one of them was Bianca Belair is back in her hometown. That was literally a storyline throughout this program.
And I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Because how many people have gone to their hometowns and it's just like, it's like a side note. And I know, like, when you actually break it down, I know it makes sense because they want people to boo Becky. And I don't think this was necessarily a highlight of Bianca, more so of, hey, boo her. We want you to boo her. Because there was even, like, when they showed her, they cut away real quick, but there was a couple man signs in the audience.
Oh, yeah. They're definitely building up Bianca as a babyface on this. But
yeah,
I thought the same thing, but reverse. It wasn't, I don't think that they're 100% saying boo Becky, but they are saying boo Becky, and that they're saying, don't forget, Bianca Belair is America's sweetheart. Bianca Belair is the girl
Well,
next
she's
door.
She's Tennessee's
Tennessee's-
sweetheart.
Yeah. But I think it's also kind of
Tennessee,
funny
honey.
when you see, honey, when you break it down, and a lot of people were talking about how Bianca losing in 6-7 seconds or whatever to Becky, 26 seconds, I think, that
26.
it was burying Bianca, and it undermines Bianca, and Bianca's got to get the title back. Without the title, Bianca's going to be completely undermined. Because I'm seeing other people talk about this too. They're saying if Becky wins this one, it destroys Bianca. And all I'm seeing throughout all these shows is how important they're making sure we all know Bianca is.
Yeah.
With or without the
100%.
title.
Yeah.
I also think, I mean, she fucking lost the championship, and she's get a fucking homecoming. Like you said, how many times do they give someone a homecoming at all? A parade, right? Yeah, it was basically a fucking parade. She was introduced by fucking Kane, the mayor. She got the key to the city.
See, that pissed me off too, because as soon as they showed that one of those clips where they showed Kane, handing her that letter of recommendation or whatever it was, I don't know. You're like, well, I was like, oh, so Kane's probably coming. Like if they would have not done that, just that one picture, not done that, and all of a sudden Kane's music hits, it would have been like, oh shit, yeah, he's the fucking mayor. I forgot. But as soon as they showed that, as soon as they showed that, it immediately came back. Like I said, I was like, oh, he's probably coming out. Cool. If they didn't show that, I think it would have been, once again, just a pop. Everyone there would have known, and obviously they still cheered, but I think the people at home would have not put it together until his music hit.
Potentially, but I mean, are you really trying to get the pops from people at home? Or, I mean, I think they're really going for the feel-good moment. And I think they also don't want to overshadow Bianca. Let's tell people Kane's going to be there, because you don't want people to go, oh my God, we got Kane, and then have Bianca be secondary. You got to make sure that
I guess,
Bianca's
but
the focus.
at the same time, like I said, they're not getting the people to pop there because, they're almost expecting it.
Yeah, but they're popping anyways because they get to see their goddamn mayor, who's also Kane, and they're in the WWE show. They're probably thinking they're going to see him anyways and be excited to see him. I'm not going to not pop anytime that I go to a show and Becky's billed on it and she comes out. I'm going to be like, oh my God, it's Becky. This is incredible. You know what I mean?
No, but I'm just saying, like, somebody that isn't billed there, it would be nice, for it not to be ruined. Like, how
it's
shitty
not
would it
a
be
ruined
just, for
pop.
example,
He got a big pop. Do you think people were going to fucking give him a Stone Cold Steve Austin pop?
No, but what I'm saying is that they're expecting it. As soon as you see the picture on the little video package, everyone now at home is expecting it, is what I'm saying.
And I'm saying there's literally nothing wrong with that. You're not going to get a higher level pop. You're not going to get people tweeting all night long about, oh my God, Kane came out. They want the focus to be on Bianca. And Kane shows up every time they go to fucking Tennessee.
Not every time. Not in the arena, at least.
And he showed up at Thunderdome. He was 24/7 champion last time they were in the city.
Yeah, but
Remember?
24/7 title, just nothing.
Yeah, sort of. But we can we'll talk a little bit more on it when we get there. So as we move through, they did have Paul Heyman get completely startled by Kayla Braxton in the back. I like how much they're playing through with this, with Paul Heyman just like, oh my God, telling Kayla that she's clearly attracted to how smart he is, and she needs to leave him alone. Like, fucking Christ. So many bugs in this fucking house just fly right in my drink. No, I don't have a lid because you never washed it. Gave me back the lids. Yeah, no lids. No lids city over here. But to be honest, though, when I do use a lid, they just go inside the mouthpiece of the lid, and then I have to remove the lid to get to the dead bodies anyways. So either way, Paul Heyman, Kayla Braxton, one of my favorite stories on SmackDown going forward as it goes. What did you think of this promo?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. Like, it showed that, before he just get frustrated, but he was actually, like, yelling at her. And, like, getting in her face and stuff. So I was like,
I like how she just keeps smirking at him. Yeah.
Yeah.
She just keeps smirking at him, and I love it. And then Paul Heyman had an interaction with Big E. I enjoyed this Big E a little bit more. I do think that he has a tendency of getting a little too goofy at times for me, but I don't necessarily want him to stop. But I did like that he was in Paul Heyman's face. Paul Heyman talking some shit, like he did the smart thing by not going after Roman. And then the Usos jumped Big E and beat the absolute shit out of him, which led to the Raw match.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to say about it? Any of that?
No. I mean, it was what it was, and like I said, I'm not a big fan of the wild card rule going crazy right now.
Yeah, dude, wild card.
They said 4 times a year or whatever, 5 times a year.
Yeah,
They've done it like 15 times in the past 2 weeks.
that's a good point. They've been really crossing brands a lot here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's 4 wrestlers a year can go as much as they want.
Yeah. Once you get the pass, the wild card pass.
Yeah, once you get the hall pass, you're fine.
It's like the annual pass at Disneyland. You can go as many times as you want.
Producer's so pissed at me. Yeah, once you get the annual pass, you get that annual wild card pass, you're in. You are in. The invitational is set.
Mm-hmm.
What? It can't be picked up. It's too low. Producers get so mad at me because I'm fast forwarding through Smackdown on my Apple TV. I do keep turning it down. I like the promo with Champy Spice, Becky Lynch coming out with the Scary Spice hair, saying, "Oh, I've never been to a homecoming." You know?
Yeah.
What do you think about this version of Becky?
It was weird. It was like, mixed between a Spice Girl and Kill Bill.
Yes. Yes, very much that. I agree. But I liked the little promo. I liked her saying she was going to be there. She was going to do the thing. I enjoyed it.
Mm.
Oh my God, my joints are breaking. This is a good show today.
Nice.
We only got a couple segments left, but what was next was Toni Storm, Liv Morgan versus Carmella and Zelena Vega. They have a match. Who was it? Liv throws Carmella into the stairs. Carmella screams about her nose over and over again. Zelena looks super concerned.
She's trying to make me a 5 like her.
Yeah, they walk to the back. Liv cuts a promo on Carmella, calling her names, telling her she's stupid and stuff, saying, "I'm going to make you as ugly on the outside as you are on the inside." Then it cuts to them in the back. Carmella, it was so funny to me in the back with Carmella and Zelena together were so good. And I loved that Carmella was like, "Oh my God, how's my nose? How's my nose?" And Zelena looks and is like, "Oh, perfect. You're still perfect. Everything's perfect." She says, "Oh my God, thank God." She goes, "I can't believe she tried to make me a 5 like her." Like,
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that segment in just a second. Right before that backstage segment was the match in and of itself. Toni Storm, we haven't seen in a while. I thought Toni Storm looked fucking phenomenal in this match.
Yeah. I was excited to see her, and when they said she was coming out, I was like, cool. And then I was like, I thought it was interesting that they were tagging her up with Liv, but it's interesting if they continue doing it.
Yes.
But it was good. It was a good match until obviously the ending where they just walk out. But yeah, no complaints on it.
So here's the thing I wanted to bring up too, because I thought it was a really good match overall. I thought Zelena looked a little slow, but everyone else was doing fantastic, and I thought it carried her pretty well, so she was fine. I also love every time that someone like Toni Storm does a move where they like deadlift Zelena, they go, "Look at that sheer power." I'm like, come on. No one believes it takes sheer power to lift Zelena. But It was all still very good. But Liv and Carmella worked fantastic together. Tony, Zelena, Carmella. I'm so excited to see all four of them wrestling. I thought the match was fantastic. I thought the segment afterwards was hysterical. And Liv kept hitting Carmella in the face. Oh, that's what it was. It wasn't the stairs. It was that she did the double feet. Turnbuckle, yeah.
Yeah.
But, so this is supposedly the match that they cut from the Madison Square Garden show. Do you remember all that? Those rumors?
Yeah,
So there was rumors. I don't even remember if we talked about it or not. But yeah, it was How Could You? Zelena was going to honor her father. She shows pictures of herself in the gear backstage, and it's anime gear. It has nothing to do with her father in New York. And I'm not saying it wouldn't have meant something to her to perform in Madison Square Garden. But when you look at that Madison Square Garden show, and you think about how stacked it was and how good it was, and you think about this women's match, which was building towards Extreme Rules, which was more or less a comedy segment, and a couple of little promos, which everyone did fucking fantastic and was a tremendous part of this show, it wasn't exactly necessary on that show. It's one you could do a week later and you'll be fine. And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. Well, and the thing was is that, since they were, crunched for time and stuff like that, would you have wanted this to be, like
Rushed.
a 2-second spot? Yeah. Like quick in, boom, Carmella's hit. Oh, match is over. Because then people would be complaining, oh, well, you only gave Zelena, 10 seconds in the ring.
Yeah. 100%. And the match opened up with Tony and Zelena. How cool is that? If I'm Zelena, I would love to get in the ring with Toni Storm. Toni Storm's been around for a long time. She's really good at this. She's a former champion.
Yeah.
All over the world she's been a champion. And Zelina's still relatively new to wrestling. Honestly, she wrestled a little bit on the indies. She was in Impact for a short period of time. She's never wrestled someone like a Tony. That's probably fucking fantastic. So, yeah, give them the time. Like you said, if they had cut this down to 2 minutes where they had to cut the promos or do the spot, not do the promos, and then do all the promo work on WWE.com exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if they had to rush the whole thing and then do it all on Twitter, that would have sucked. So I'm glad that they waited a week and did it right and gave it time because it was fucking great.
Yeah.
Dude, also, when Liv's cutting that promo, talking all that shit, if you look right over her shoulder, Toni Storm is making the most perfect facial expressions for everything Liv is saying.
Oh, really? I didn't notice.
She's not just standing there doing nothing. She's going oh God, oh, and yeah, and then nodding her head yeah, it was she's making a ton of facial expressions, responding and reacting to exactly what Liv is saying as she's saying it. It's not canned facial expressions. It's not no facial expressions. It was fucking great. So I love that they got the time to do it.
The middle school hype man on the schoolyard.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Awesome.
Let's see. After that, we did have. Go ahead.
I need to go rewatch that just to see that.
It's 100% worth it, and the whole segment's worth rewatching. To be honest, watch the match again. It's a fun match. Watch the facial expressions at the end, and there's a Street Profit segment you can skip through, but then right after that, they're back in the medical and Zelena and Carmella. Watch it again and watch the way that Zelena and Carmella are acting together.
I love that. I watched
perfect.
that one real close. Yeah.
Yeah. And I watched it a couple of
times.
times.
God, you okay? You're all right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how do I look? Oh my God, you're good.
Yeah. The relief on both their faces.
Of their shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah. Am I still beautiful?
Oh, thank God. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Even the way Zelena was like you said, the weight, because Zelena goes she was so fucking scared. It was so funny, dude. But yeah, this not only did this not need to happen on the Madison Square Garden show, I'm happy that it got the time to breathe on this episode. And she got to honor her father anyways. And not to say anyways as though she deserves less or anything like that. I'm just saying I don't know if that stuff always has to be a factor in what you're presenting. Like you said, if they had forced it to make it happen and it was a lesser than segment, that would have been awful. But she did get to represent WWE and her family at the ceremony where they read the names, and she got to read her father's name and others, and you know what I mean? I think that I'm not going to speak on behalf of her. Everyone else is trying to. Zelena wanted this. Zelena would have wanted that. I don't know what she would have wanted, but I'll tell you, she got a lot out of the last couple weeks.
Yeah. Oh, adjust your seat.
Yeah, just seat issue.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm not going to try and pretend that I know what Zelena's thinking, but I'm going to say that I'm happy with what we got on the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
Video promo. Finn Balor talking some shit. I don't summon the demon. The demon summons me.
And then McAfee. Oh my God! Did you
Yeah.
see that?
Yeah. McAfee is so good.
I laughed
So
so
good.
hard at that when he did that.
Yeah.
Did you see what just happened? Oh my God!
Mm,
So good.
it was amazing. It was amazing. But that promo was dope, dude. I loved it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I loved it too
was
because.
nice.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was nice because at first when they announced, "Hey, we're gonna tell you," or Finn's gonna tell you about the demon type of thing. Like I forgot how they exactly said it, but at first I was like, "Why?" Like, but then I thought about it and I was like, "Well, we haven't seen the demon forever, and B, Fox has never seen it. A lot of these new eyes haven't seen it, so I was like, all right, cool, it makes sense. Go for it."
Yeah, 100%. Also, I didn't get the impression that it was made to believe that it was happening in real time and that he actually was morphing in its magic. I got the impression that it was a video package that he put together to scare his opponent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing is I see people like, I'm supposed to believe this. I don't think you are. If you'd like to, I suppose, but I never once got an impression that we were supposed to believe that this was magical.
Yeah, but those are the anti-WWE fucks.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Like everyone, listen to your mothers. If you got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
Yo, listen to CM Punk, your savior. Did you see what he said? It was on like his second show. He goes, if you like what you see, tweet about it, put it out, tell all your friends, and if you don't like it, then shut the fuck up about it. He said that to an audience. And you're like,
They don't.
I guess I sort
They
of
don't shut
agree, but at the same time, like, fuck you, dude. Of all people to say that, CM Punk, who just regularly shits on everything he can every chance he gets.
Mm-hmm.
And always has. He's never not shit on everything he's had the opportunity to do, and he's all like, if you don't like it, you should just not talk about it. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Punk's a dumbass.
The other thing that, real quick, going to AEW and WWE, I like that Adam Cole shut down that rumor about him being Keith Lee's manager.
Yes.
Or that he heard nothing about it. I as much shit as I give Adam Cole that I don't like him and stuff like that, I was like, all right, cool. That was I don't know if he's just trying to save face with the company or whatever, but for him to just sit there and say, no, that didn't happen or that I wasn't aware of, great. Like, we need more of that for these people to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but what I think is funny about that stuff is that there's a lot of podcasts that are really anti-WWE, and they see that kind of stuff about Adam Cole, and they put it out there. This is what WWE's going to do. This is what WWE's going to do. Adam Cole literally speaks up and say, I've never heard anything about that. That's nothing that I know about. It didn't happen. And here we are a week or two later, and those same podcasts are still being like, well, look what they were going to do with Adam Cole. Look at how they were going to do Adam Cole. That's exactly what they were going to do with him. And you're like, no, why are you... You're only willing to read the negative thing and not the fact that never fucking happened.
Yeah.
TW thanks. Bishop's in the chat. Cheers, Bishop. He says, if CM Punk shut the fuck up for 7 years, I might care. Fuck him. Yeah. 100%. And he said, fuck Dave Meltzer. Dude, did you see Dave Meltzer writes for the New York Post?
No.
Yeah. He got this tweet. Let me pull it up real quick. Well, it wasn't his tweet, but someone posted this about the New York Post where the headline was, Daniel Craig believes James Bond should not be a woman. And then another article by Discussing Film quotes it and says, Daniel Craig says in quotes, why should a woman play James Bond when there should be a part just as good as James Bond, but for a woman? There should simply be better parts for women and actors of color. And I was like, oh shit, Dave Meltzer must write for New York Post, because that's a hell of a way to twist what he said.
Right. That's hilarious. Yeah, that shit gets on my nerves.
Yeah, and we're going to get to some Meltzer stuff too. He made a report on Raw that just was not true at all and was also debunked, and I'm sure people are going to say it happened. So I don't get that shit, man. But we're journalists here. We make it up as we go along. So cheers to you. Cheers to Bishop. Like I said earlier, there's a really good chance we're doing the Extreme Rules watch along. We're trying to figure out everyone involved. Also, you know what? As long as you're here, TW Takes Podcast /TWTs. If you put in promo code DiveBar, you get like 25% off those fucking comfy ass tees. I gave you some TWTs, didn't I?
Yeah, I got one.
You got one or two? I think you got two. There's like a white one that none of us remember we have. We all have a white one, and I've never seen any of us wear it. We all wear the one color we wanted. We all got an extra white one. I swear to God, what happens is you look through your closet, you see a white sleeve, and you keep moving. You don't even look at what it is.
I look at my white shirts. My black shirts are the ones that I have to fucking
skip.
I normally skip most of the time.
But it's comfy as hell. It's a really comfy shirt.
Yeah, nice and soft.
And if you check out the Specifically Devoid podcast as well, those guys, I was just on an episode with a game show, and at the end of the show, I joined the Pink World Order, and I'm wearing my TW Takes t-shirt to do so. So it worked. But yeah, and he's always doing that shit. If you order from him and you put in promo code DiveBar, he's probably just going to throw some shit in. So, anyways, as we're going, dude, Naomi shows up again, gets in Sonya's face, and's like, look, bitch, you dumb bitch. She gets in her face. She tells her, I'm going to get give me my fucking match. And then she goes, do you feel that? And I went, oh, shit, we're getting real close to Naomi when she first came out with Feel the Glow. It was not Feel the Glow of the inner you, a la Nikki ASH, everyone be good and happy and dig from within. It initially started with, I wear glow shoes, I'm going to kick you in the fucking face and make you feel the glow. We got real close to that this one. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, they've been teasing it. We've talked about it. Like, it's like, all right, let them go at it. Put your hair up and square up, bitch.
Yes. Do you think we're going to get Sonya versus Naomi?
She said that. Yeah, I do. I said that since the beginning. Huh? No, I said it would be hilarious if Naomi said that.
Yes.
I'm sick of this. Put your hair up and square up. And we're like, oof.
Oof. I hope they do it.
Yeah.
They should make it a hair up and square up match, or the loser gets their head shaved, so we can finally shave Sonya Deville's head.
Yes.
Because they cheated us on that at SummerSlam 2 years ago, and you know it.
Yeah, they did.
Either way.
Give us what we want.
Give me what I want. Let's see. But so that happened, and then we had Dominick versus Sami Zayn. I am happy though that even with Naomi not being on the show, she's on the show consistently, and I love how people are going like, Naomi's killing it. I can't believe they won't just give her the match, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah. Getting work.
Yeah, it was really good. But then Sonya says she's gonna find Naomi. I think we're 100% getting towards some sort of match here, and I love it. Get the in-ring return of Daddy Boss Sonya and of Feel My Goddamn Glow Naomi. We're going to do it, man. We're going to do it good. So here's the other thing.
How hilarious, though, would it be if Naomi gets drafted by Raw?
It'd be so good.
That's just
or
that.
Sonya gets drafted by Raw. Like, just something random. So the other thing is this. We have Sami Zayn versus Dominick for like the third week in a row.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me what you think, but I'll tell you right now that I feel like this storyline of Sami and Dominick having these matches week after week is not getting tired. And it doesn't feel like random rematch after random rematch. All of these matches are different from the next one and have a purpose. And Sami Zayn has become the measuring stick for Dominic to get past it. Like, I think that it's really interesting when you think about the amount of times we see a ton of rematches and we just think, oh, this match again. And here we are 3 weeks in a row of this match, and I feel like, oh shit, what's Dominic going to do this week? You know what I mean?
But at this point, it's almost, is he going to do it? Is this the time he's going to get the W? You know, I think it'd be funny if Sami starts going out there, because, you know, he's already said 2 in a row, now 3 in a row.
Yeah.
If Sami's like, stop, like, I don't want to fight this kid anymore. Like, he can't beat me.
Yeah.
You know?
He did cut a really good promo in the back. I'll send it to you because it showed up on the network exclusive stuff. Sami cut a fantastic promo where he even did a Rey Mysterio impression.
Oh, nice.
It was great. Yeah, it was great.
I do think it's hilarious they're calling him the Little League Dad.
Yes. It's great. And I think the character work that Sami Zayn's putting out there during this match and after the match and all that stuff, I think is fantastic. The way he's yelling at Ray and telling, like, Ray, what's the matter with you? Like, I love it.
Yeah. And yeah, like you said, you know, I didn't even get to the point, but yeah, like, it's not getting old at this point.
Yes.
You know, like, it's different. The matches are a little different, you know, because I think that's the problem with a lot of rematches, and I think that it gives you have to give a lot of credit to Sami Zayn here, is they're not doing the same moves in the same spot over and over and over.
True.
You know, that was always like one of the things I hated with Ambrose when he first did that lunatic lariat. I was like, holy shit, that was awesome. But when you see it in every fucking match, it's like, all right, you killed it now. You overworked it, it's done. But, you know, in this one, like, he went for, I think it was the Blue Thunder Bomb, and Dominic reversed it. And I was like, oh shit, he's learning. You know, there's a lot of in-ring, not chemistry, but like IQ that is being shown in these matches.
Yeah, 100%. And I think a ton of that has to do with Sami. I do think Sami's one of the greatest to ever do it, because when he does do these moves, when he does them, it never looks like... Look, I love Daniel Bryan. But when Daniel Bryan pushes someone off the ropes and then ducks the underarm and then comes around the other side and does the running knee, I mean, like, we know the spot. When he does the flip over the top and then does it, like, it's a whole thing. It's a whole sequence. Like, if you're playing a video game, it's press A, press B, press A, press B, press C, press left. So you can do... Yeah, it's do the whole sequence. With Sami, he has moves that he does, and he works them in so naturally that it doesn't ever feel like a choreographed sequence, where even guys like Daniel Bryan, who is fucking phenomenal at what he does, has those moments where you go, oh, this is where he goes over the top, and then he's going to go off the ropes, go under the one, and then catch him on the back. And then he does it. And you go, oh, okay, well, it took a little long to get there, but we got there. Like,
yeah. Well, see, and I think Sami's up there with, like you said, the different deliveries to get to the same move. He's up there with, you know, the Stone Colds, the Rocks, the Randys, the Shawns, where it's literally out of nowhere sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, Shawn would sit there and do, you know, tune up the band and stuff like that, and sometimes hit it, but then other times, you know, it'd be a weird reversal, and all of a sudden, boom, he hits it. You're like, oh, fuck. It's over now. You know?
Yeah.
So
100%.
I like that, and that's, you know, that's why I was a big fan of KO adapting to the stunner, because I'm like, all right, cool. There's guys with moves now that can come out of nowhere. God, dude, you need to get those little slippy things on your chair so it don't squeak when you move.
Yeah,
you know?
My chair's all over the place, man.
Yeah,
it's bad. Those wheels. I gotta get like wheel locks.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I was gonna say Becky with the, what do they call it? Pump man slam or whatever.
Yes, the manhandle slam.
Manhandle slam. I think, you know, she's gonna be another one where it's gonna be coming out of nowhere a lot of times, and it's gonna be nice.
And she even got really good at making the armbar come out of nowhere when she was doing
Yeah.
the God. What did she call the armbar? How do I not remember what it's called? Disarmer.
Yeah.
It was the disarm her. She got pretty clever at that too, but this one that's actually easier that you don't have to twist and manipulate the person a bunch. Yeah, it's going to be crazy by the time she gets going with it. But
Yeah.
I agree. When I think of like some of the greatest ever, you think about how Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have had probably more matches together than any two humans have ever had matches together.
Mhm.
And every time they have another match, you always think to yourself, oh, this is going to be good. I wonder what they're going to do. Because they've never got into the groove of it. They always go, what can we do different? What can we do that's new? That's so funny.
Yeah.
When Sami Zayn wins it too, as soon as he gets his arm raised, he's immediately looking at the camera being like, 3. That's 3 in a row now.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about the Sami Dominic stuff?
No, it's good. Do you think he finally gets the win at Extreme Rules?
I don't know. I
Because
think it's possible.
dude, how bad? I think that would be a badass. And once again, where you named the stipulation, where he sits there and says, "All right, fuck it, like, give me some chairs and shit. Like, I have to win. I have to find a way to win." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you get like a demon-esque Dominic.
They should do it a mask match, and then Sammy comes out in an El Generico mask, and Dominic wears Ray's
That would
mask.
be so good. That'd be awesome.
So good. Real quick, Bishop's in the chat. He does ask, do you want Sonya in the ring? This is from before. Yeah, I don't know if we'd made it clear or not. I think both of you and I both really want to see her wrestle again, right?
Yeah, definitely. And even if it's
Yeah.
like a one spot type of thing, or she comes back for a little bit, if she doesn't want to do a full run, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And then he does ask, am I the only one here? No Kiro, Justin, or Jeremy. Yeah, you're the only one here. I think they're doing a Dynamite or something at AEW. I did tune in for the beginning. I'll tell you this real quick, Kev, before we talk about the main event. And move on to Raw, because we talked mostly about the main event already. I watched the opening of Dynamite because it was Daniel Bryan versus Kenny Omega.
Mhm.
It's fine. Like, I mean, it wasn't a bad match, but it was really funny the amount of people to me who were going like, this is the greatest match I've ever seen. And the people are believing their own hype at this point. But when you watch this match,
100%.
dude, this is not even the best match he's had this year.
Yeah.
And he only wrestled in WWE for like 5 months. Like, when you look at his Roman match, it blows this one out of the water. Like, crazy. His last WrestleMania match, the triple threat even,
Yeah.
completely blows it out of the water. Anything he did
But
with
I
Drew
believe it.
Gulak was
There's-
better than this match. I'm being honest.
That's funny. Drew Gulak was last year.
What?
I said the stuff with Drew Gulak was last year. He said
Yeah, but that stuff too. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to go back another year,
Yeah.
he had a bunch of stuff with Drew Gulak
Yeah.
that was way better. You know what I mean? Like, it just was not the
Well,
best
so you
match
get
ever. But it was fine. It was good. It was probably the first time AEW fans have seen wrestling in a while.
Yeah. So you'll get a kick out of this. So I play kickball with this dude that, he's a big wrestling dude as well.
Yeah.
And he likes AEW and stuff like that. And we kind of, and he, don't get me wrong, he does like WWE, but he just knows that I don't like AEW. And he, at our kickball tournament this past weekend, he asked me, he's like, when are you going to switch over from entertainment to actually wrestling? And I look at him and I was like, well, that's just the thing, is AEW is not entertaining. So I'm going to stick with WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And he just like looked at me. He was just like, yeah, soul twisted my words.
Yeah. It's 100% it right there. AEW is like, we're not sports entertaining. We would never try to be entertaining.
Yeah. We're wrestling.
We are
Not
dry
entertaining.
wrestling. Yeah, not entertainment. Don't come to us looking for entertainment as
Yeah.
advertised. 100%. 100%. But yeah, moving on. Bianca Belair gets her homecoming, and all I'm watching is like, oh, this is a star. This is someone they believe in. This is someone who is going to be a big star. They did a huge homecoming thing for somebody for no good goddamn reason other than they want us to know that she is a star.
Yeah.
Becky comes
And they
out,
wanna boo
interrupts. Say what? Yeah.
And they want you to boo Becky.
Boo Becky, make Bianca the biggest babyface in the company, and they're doing a damn good job of it. Becky does come out, talk some shit. They tussle. I liked the ending segment overall.
I mean, it served its purpose, but I would just like, eh. 'Cause like I said, like, because one of my bigger things is, you know, I look back at Bailey.
Yeah.
And she returned to San Jose. You know, she's the women's champion, and then she loses the belt in San Jose. And it was like a side note type of thing.
That's what like makes me say they're so invested in Bianca.
No, yeah, 100%. And you know, like I said, it served its purpose, but I was like, yeah, I wasn't that into it.
All right, dick.
I was the one that said this from the beginning to you know, a year ago that I wanted to see Becky versus Bianca, and I still want to see the matches, but I just don't want to see Homecoming.
I like the idea of a
It's like when
homecoming
they
because I
do-
feel like it shuts a lot of people up.
Yeah, well, it shuts up the haters. Well, it's supposed to. I don't think it will. But it's like when they do the coronations, like, oh, we're champion, we're gonna celebrate. Well, if you do this for every champion, yeah, that makes sense. But you don't, so quit doing that shit.
Well, that's what it mean. That's what I mean. Is like when they do it, you go, "Oh, what's the reason behind doing it for this person, and not somebody else?" It's usually like know the big push or whatever. They're big behind you.
Yeah.
In this one, it's the big make sure everyone knows Bianca's a super babyface and Becky is the fucking heel. You know, really, really lay it on thick, which I think is good for Bianca because she's still real new in the business when you think years wise. But like, she didn't cut a shitload of promos in NXT. She just didn't. And when she first got to the roster, we were all kind of like, her promos are getting there. But I think at this point, yeah, she's just up there. She's just one of the top women there, and it makes sense.
Yeah, and like I said, it served its purpose.
Yeah.
I just wasn't a huge fan of it.
All right. Bishop's in the chat. He says, I swear on everything, AEW is more entertainment than wrestling. Spot fest, no in-ring stories.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the one thing that I know about AEW for sure is that it's not sport and it's not entertaining. So I'm totally fine with them rebranding themselves. The other thing I think is funny is that anytime I hear someone say like, oh, AEW is pro wrestling, WWE is sports entertainment, I go, oh, so you've been worked by both companies. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, they're saying the same thing, but branding it away to get you to think that you're seeing something different, but you're not. You're seeing the same but
like
different.
That's when you see two stores and one store says, or you know, our shirts are 50% off if you buy two, and the other shirt says, well, buy one get one free.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you still get each shirt for the same price if you're buying two.
Yep, 100%. It's BOGO or 2 for 50% off. Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. That's just shows the intellect of today's America. Uh-oh. Damn squeaky chairs, man.
Yeah, it's my goddamn chair, and when we talk about AEW, it's hard to manage the chair.
It has a mind of its own when AEW is out there.
But I did like Becky being so obnoxious in her outfit and her hair and the glasses and the jacket. Like, I like that she's really leaning into that stuff. I think it's great.
Yeah.
But Bishop thinks that wasn't my chair. What a fucking dumbass. What, you got worked? It's clearly the chair.
It's been the theme the whole show.
Yeah, it's true. Since episode 1.
Yeah.
So the Raw opened up with Big E and the New Day coming out to the championship coronation, and there was a really good moment where Big E says that, you know, for all of his he goes, I'm grateful for all of you below the heavens and one incredible friend above. And I really like that because I think in this weird way that although everyone was close to Brody, something about Big E's reaction and response and feelings towards Brody when everything happened the way that it happened, I think connected him to Brody in all of our minds in a really deep sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when he won, I remember watching him win and just thinking, God, Brody would have been so fucking happy for him.
Yeah.
But Brody would have been happy for everyone. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to undermine it. I'm just saying that something about Big E and Brody have been linked in our minds and our heads. That when he said this, and when he won it, he posted a picture of him winning it, and I even posted a GIF in response of Brody smiling and nodding, because that's all I could think about was Brody's with you, bro. You know. So I really liked that he gave it that moment, and the crowd chanted Brody. When the crowd was chanting "You deserve it," he was getting visibly choked up. I loved this opening segment.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was great. Like, I was really excited that the crowd was chanting Brody.
Yeah.
You know, because you could even say or tell when he said that. Like, I want to thank all my friends down here and especially one heavenly one or whatever, however he said it. And you can tell like you knew who he was talking about. You knew how much it meant to him. And then when the crowd started chanting Brody, like I think it kind of took Big E back even a little more.
Yeah, it did. It hit him. It hit him for sure. But I love this moment. You know what I think is also cool is so we knew that this match was going to be New Day against Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that Big E got to have this whole moment and got to say everything he wanted. And then Roman came out, and they didn't do another promo. They didn't go back and forth. He came out, he got in Big E's face, and that kind of was that. And then they get to the match.
Yeah, because when they announced that was going to be a match, I was like, oh, that's got to be main event.
Yeah, I thought that too.
You have it, and like you said, they just came out, measured each other's belts, held them in each other's faces.
Yeah.
And then they just got into the match. I was like, all right, cool, let's do it.
Yeah. And the match happened, and as it was happening, I thought it was fucking phenomenal.
Yep. Everyone, performed like you expected. It was a great match.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bobbert comes out.
Hey, yo, Bobby. Hey, yo, Bobby.
Bobby.
It was awesome. Bobby comes out, beats the shit out of everyone. Here's the thing I didn't get is they didn't end the match in DQ. That Bobby attacks them, and then the match continues while the ref is literally watching and going, "Oh, come on, man! There's a match going on.
Stop it!
Yeah, come on, knock it off." It was weird, man. And then they get back in the ring, and the match ends with Roman getting a pin, and it's like, how the fuck did that not end in a DQ? And I almost wonder if it was supposed to, and the ref just like really wasn't in on it and didn't want to like quote fuck up the finish, and then Roman was just like, fuck it, let me get a pin on one of these guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe, because it definitely like you said, should have been a DQ. It wasn't, and then it was like kind of quickly ended. It was like, all right, let's go. But I thought that part was dumb. But then, because we talked about it earlier, it seems like they're teasing like a traditional Survivor Series match. And when Bobby first came out there and attacked the New Day, I was like, oh, that'd be an awesome member, fourth member for the Bloodline would be Bobby. And then he just attacks them too.
Yeah.
Like he's without MVP guiding him, he's just this loose cannon, which I'm okay with. Like if they, run with that.
Yeah, 100%. And everyone just looks so fucking good. Dude, here's the thing I don't get, too, is they've said it a few times. I've heard Big E mention it on Sam's podcast recently. He said it on his own podcast. He said it on After the Bell. He's at one of the lowest weights he's been in a long time. And to me, he looks bigger than he's ever been.
Mhm.
He's literally 35 pounds lighter than he was like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
But he looks fucking massive. So, I don't know. Just
Yeah,
impressive.
I mean, but if he just trimmed the fat, there's not much there to begin with, but
That's true.
he just got leaner that way. Of course he's going to look bigger.
Yeah, that's true. He must start really popping at that point. Bobby Lashley gets in the face of Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville and says, I'll fucking beat the shit out of both of you guys, and then leaves. That's pretty much what I remember of it.
Yep.
Let's see.
Verbatim.
Yep. Which I liked it. It was nuts. Matt Riddle was singing a song to Randy Orton, saying he made a playlist with him. It was this whole thing. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You liked
Me?
it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's stupid, but funny.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, I got you matching headphones. And then Randy's like, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I like these.
Yeah.
It's just dumb.
Yeah.
Funny. I love it.
Yeah, it was pretty solid. It was actually pretty solid. So here's the other thing I want to mention real quick. There was a lot of people after this Raw ended that were going, best Raw of the year by far. This is the best Raw I've seen in several years, probably. People were talking about how this was the just going on and on about how this was such an incredible Raw. Didn't have The Miz.
It was good.
Didn't have Drew McIntyre. Did it even have Morrison?
No.
No. It didn't have a lot of that shitty, goofy bullshit that they keep putting on.
Yeah. Charlotte was there, though. Ugh.
Oh, we'll get to Charlotte in just a second. As we get moving, though,
Yeah.
Doudrop versus Eva Marie. I actually liked this segment. I thought Doudrop's showing a ton of personality. Beats the shit out of
Yeah.
Eva Marie. I thought Eva Marie sold like a fucking champ.
Yeah.
And it was good. It moves the storyline along, and I think that you could even end it there and move forward at this point with this whole Doudrop being like, yeah, Eva, the evolution is over, and you can do whatever you want with Eva at this point, and Doudrop can move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But at the same time, if they do one more thing, if like Eva, like, what I think that probably should happen is Eva should get some sort of cohort, and then have that cohort attack Doudrop with her.
Yeah. I was wondering about that. I was thinking the same thing. Like, now that she doesn't have her sidekick or little lackey, she should be on the lookout for one. I don't know who it would be, but
Yeah, I was trying to
maybe
think
a
of that
call-up
too.
or something.
Ah, that's true. You could do a call-up. You could do a Xia Li.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, if Xia Li is not going to be with Tian Sha in NXT with all the creepy shit,
Mm-hmm.
if Eva Marie were to say, I need a fucking assassin to get Doudrop, and you had a badass fucking Xia Li with a mouthpiece like Eva Marie attached to her,
Yeah.
that could be cool.
Yeah, that would be solid.
That's exactly how I would do it. Or, yeah, Bruce, we know you're listening. Bruce, you're always here having a drink with us, and we appreciate it. Cheers to Bruce Pritchard, friend of the show, drinker at the dive bar of the IWC. But the other option is who we haven't seen in a while that Eva Marie could bring in to beat the shit out of Doudrop, Harry Smith, David Boy Smith Jr.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah, we know he's signed and we haven't seen him, so that could work
Mm-hmm.
because that'd be believable. We're just like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, I think pair Xia Li with Eva Marie and have Xia Li and Doudrop in a program because Eva Marie's the mouthpiece of the whole thing, and I think you could do some cool shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Let's see.
That too.
Yep, let's keep it moving. Big E goes over to Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville and says, fuck both y'alls. I'm going to beat the shit out of both of you. I want that goddamn fight with Bobby and Roman and beat the shit out of you, and walks out. And it was pretty cool.
Yep.
After that, we had Randy Orton versus AJ Styles, who are always perfect in the ring together.
Dude, it's so great. Like, yeah. Almost gets ejected.
Oh yeah. Dude, I love if you like. Remember a while back, AJ and Randy had a match where AJ goes to do the phenomenal forearm, and he goes to jump up in the springboard, and Randy goes to do the RKO but lands on his back, and AJ never jumped.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then AJ like fucking like tunes up and goes again.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they got into a spot just like this again, except Randy didn't fall down, and then they look at each other and point at each other like, ooh.
And then I started rolling because I don't know if you heard, but Corey goes, "Oh, it's the Spider-Man meme."
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that's so great. You know, they do. They just point there and look at each other for a minute. I loved it.
Yeah. So good. It's fantastic. Dude, this is the other thing, too, is I think that when you think about AJ, you think about him being a smaller guy. But when you look at him for a second, the dude's arms are enormous.
Yeah.
I just think that that's worth mentioning when you guys got, like, Adam Cole on other shows. I hope people take us super seriously. These motherfuckers.
Right? Oh my god, I just found this podcast and these drunk assholes are
They just fucking never let it go, dude. They just don't let it go. Let's see. Well, after that, though, we did have Paul Heyman go into Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville and say, no, you give me what I want. And they said, why don't you shut the fuck up? Shut the goddamn right up. Here's what we're going to do. We're not listening to any of you. We're going to give you all what you want. It was peculiar, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Bishop's in the chat. He goes, hey, Kev, how long ago is that towel? He goes, I need 3. Yeah, the rally towel. If you look in the toddler section of the WWE shop, sometimes they have them in there as a rally towel or like one of those spit up towels. For whatever reason, it was with the toddler stuff. Because they had all the belts and that.
Yeah, this was I think a couple years ago, wasn't it?
It was a couple years ago, yeah.
It was like when the Connor stuff was first kind of coming out.
Yeah, it was really early on.
I would imagine. I would imagine it's still going.
I would think maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was really cool.
The Connor the Crusher website.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. We got all the Connor merch. I got the pin, the bracelet on. We got the bandanas here, obviously, and then you got the towel. I have a towel. I remember getting a couple of them, but I haven't seen them in a bit. So I think I gave them both to my brother, or maybe I gave one to my brother and one to my sister when they had babies as their little towels. But I don't know. Bishop is asking. He said on my last episode, I'd love to see what Eva Marie does next. What is that? And I think we answered that. I think we answered that one by what we'd like to see next.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There's the Orton AJ stuff, which was dope. Then we had Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Baszler comes out. She beats the shit out of Nia Jax. And then she goes and breaks her arm. And then when she puts her arm in the steps and steps on it, so she like shatters her wrist. She then starts stomping on her arm. And the whole time Nia Jax is just screaming and squealing.
Yeah.
It was kind of an gnarly segment.
It sounded like a jackrabbit being killed by a coyote. Like,
I believe you would know that.
It was just yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was terrible. I was like, holy fuck. But I liked it. I like how Shayna got the win, and I was like, cool, because to me they've been it seemed like they've been kind of giving the Nia the push. And then Shayna's like, well, no, like, I'm still here. And then, so for her to get the win, cool. And then for her to, like you said, break her arm. Maybe that's why everyone loved this Raw. Somebody broke Nia's arm.
Yeah. There's no Drew. Nia gets her arm broke. This is perfect.
Yeah.
Alexa calls Charlotte a bitch. This is great.
Yeah. Yeah. And, yeah, but, I love the match, the end of the match stuff. It definitely, I don't know if they're just trying to give Nia the, hey, we're going to give you a break type of thing. Make it look like you're injured. You're out for a while. Let Shayna go. But it definitely builds up to me, like a nice, Shayna run, where she even gets the belt. Maybe, we get the badass Shayna that we've had in the past, and then Nia comes back.
Yeah,
for her.
That's what I see too.
Nia's revenge. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking that too. This is the kind of thing where Nia disappears for a while. Shayna does a whole bunch of stuff, wins the title, feels like a champion, and then all of a sudden, I'm not like most girl. I get a better for the winner. Looking for me, I'm not like most girls. You know what I mean?
Beautiful. Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And everyone goes, oh!
You come out with your own CD.
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about recording some WWE
Wrestling on the Rocks entrance theme.
Yes. 100%. Bishop asks, was it Nia's butt or hole that made Nia scream? I mean...
It was her whole arm.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I think we could go that way. I think also, I love how much people loved this segment because we've talked about it before where Shayna Baszler came in as an absolute murderer and people hated it and called her boring. So they gave her a bunch of silly, goofy shit and people got so annoyed it's like, can we just go back to the other one? You were right the first time. And so now we're going back to the original. And I love that people are kind of like, okay, we'll be on board this time. And it's just like, you guys are fucking... Like, Daniel Bryan was right. Fickle.
You fickle pickles.
100%.
But, I didn't mind Shayna being dominant before, but I hated that fucking elimination chamber. That's where I drew the line in the sand and said, you've crossed it. You've gone too far.
Yeah. Bitch. 100%.
Bitch.
That brings us to the tag match. We have Ali and Angel Garza against Mansoor and... Oh, wait. It's Ali and Humberto. No, wait. It's Angel Garza and Humberto and Ali and Mansoor in a tag match. I like Garza and Humberto. What?
No, I was going to say the same thing. I loved it. Like, I even like it more that they got the win. Because they're actually solidifying a couple tag teams now. And, Garza and Humberto, like, that's awesome. Like, they're cousins. They kind of brought them up. Then they kind of went at each other from the get-go because of Zelena. And, now that they put them back together because both of them have just been chasing the 24/7 title. And, I like it. Solidified them as a tag team. They looked great. That finisher, oh my God. I thought they killed him.
Yeah.
I thought Ali and Edge are both dead now after the last 2 weeks.
Oh God.
Yeah. Like the way
That was great.
Humberto flipped into it and held him, I was like, oh shit, that's awesome. That's a cool submission. And then Angel came in, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was great. It was, and now that you mention it too, when they first started feuding, I remember a lot of people being like, "This is so stupid." They're cousins, right? They shouldn't be feuding. And now people are like, "Really? You're just gonna put them together because they're Mexican?" You're like, no, what? They're cousins.
Yeah.
And their styles complement each other.
Yeah.
And Angel Garza can fucking talk.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like that little segment that they had, the little promo where they
Oh yeah.
basically put all the cards out on the table. Hey, we're cousins. This was in the past. We got over it. We're good. Let's go kick ass. And they did.
Mm-hmm.
And that spot where they threw Ali into the ring post. Oh, it was good. I liked it. They got mad at each other. This is family, but yeah. Oh, this is the return of the LWO, baby.
Here we go.
Dominic, Ray. Here we go. There's another faction for the Survivor Series. Let's get back to traditional Survivor Series. Yeah.
That's true. On NWO Day, they had a photo shoot with a bunch of the superstars wearing NWO shirts, whether it was white or red. And Ray and his son were wearing LWO shirts. It was great.
Nice. Haven't they said that they wanted to bring it back, or
I don't know.
They wanted to continue. I thought somebody said that they said that.
Possible.
Well,
I don't know though. What do you think of the Karrion Kross video package?
I thought it was all right. They just keep going around in circles for me at this point. Yeah. Like I'm behind them. I want to stay behind them. I don't know. I think they keep changing their mind on shit.
I do think it's a little weird, right? So we ended up going from matches to vignettes, and we're traditionally we see a bunch of vignettes and then we get a series of matches. Mm-hmm. And I almost feel like they did these matches, and now they're trying to okay. So there's these things that like Tommy Dreamer and Bully Ray have said on their show, and other people have talked about who have been in the business that said things along the lines of that Vince and such will try and test people sometimes, and kind of dig them in a hole to bring them back out of it, to see how they'll react. Will they give up, or will they keep fighting, or what are they going to bring to the table, kind of a deal? And part of me almost wonders if that is true and that is what happened. I wonder if the matches were to do that, and at this point it's like, okay, well now we have to flesh out your character, and then on the other side of that, let's go.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that. Like, the matches were whatever. Like, he looked good. Then, at first he lost, right? First couple.
Yeah.
And then he looked good. And then all of a sudden, these vignettes are here. And I don't know. I wish, because that was one of the things that I was thinking, when I saw this vignette, is back in the day, we would have these characters in wrestling and it made sense. Now that they're supposed to be a little more realistic, when you have these goofy characters, that's why I like Nikki ASH. That's why a lot of people, I think, aren't behind her, because it's like, well, this isn't as realistic. Like the Viking Raiders, they live that, so it's like, all right, these guys are actual Vikings. Like, I think they need more of a backstory, more of a, hey, this helmet means this to me because of this, and whatever. But they just don't have it. You know what I mean? He just kind of showed up with it.
Yeah.
And I think we're at the point where these big goofy, like super gimmicky characters, unless you have the backstory, they're not gonna work much. People got behind Nikki because she explained herself. We never got an explanation why Karrion Kross started wearing that mask all of a sudden. If he sat there and said, hey, I'm a cold-blooded killer, I view myself as an assassin, this is my assassin's hood, or whatever they call it. Okay, cool. It makes sense now.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
No, yeah, I agree. I'll give you that. I like him. I really want to see something happen with him. It's just one of those things where it's like, I guess we just kind of wait. The other thing I noticed is they changed his so his name has Karrion Kross, and in the O's are the little X's that look like the straps he wears.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. So I thought that was a nice little touch.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I almost wanted to go back because I didn't remember if he had that before. But yeah, I noticed that as well, and I was like, all right, cool. Like, it makes sense now with the X's, and even if you said like X, means something to me. Like a hitman, I'll put my X on you. Well, whatever. They just need a little more substance behind it, and I think people would hop on board.
Yeah, I agree. Real quick, did you watch SmackDown live or did you watch it on replay?
I watched it on replay.
What app did you use?
Hulu.
You used Hulu? Did you catch, because on the Fox replay, there's a commercial break that they cut to and come back from, and the whole commercial break airs, where it comes back and there's no commentary and it's just Sami and Dominic.
That was on.
Like,
I thought that was on Raw.
no, it happened during Sami Dominic.
Oh no, it was a SmackDown. Yeah, no, it was there because I thought like my audio was fucking up because it went just black for a second.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what the fuck? And then they came back, and then you heard just the crowd yelling and screaming. I was like, oh, they must be having technical difficulties. Episode 1 of SmackDown over there. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And, then all of a sudden it's like, welcome back. And I was like, yeah, I'm glad you guys are back. And then yeah, it kind of dawned on me that that's what happened.
Yeah. 100%. It reminded me of the Thunderdome. Missed Thunderdome a little bit. But with that in mind, this was cut from the replay. But did you get to see Rhea Ripley and Nikki Cross cut their promo about Connor's cure?
Yeah, where she got all choked up and stuff, and
she was getting choked up, right?
I think so, because she was either choked up or drunk. One of the two. She was not delivering.
She was having a really fucking rough go of it, and Nikki's feeding her lines. And I remember, I saw some people saying like, "Oh, Rhea just forgot her lines. Oh, Rhea fucked this up." But as I'm watching it, because I watched it after I heard people say that, I'm watching it and I'm going, her chin's kind of quivering, her eyes kind of
little watery.
Yeah, I'm like, she's thinking about someone.
Yeah, I think no, that's because when I first saw it, at first when I saw her like, mess up and stuff like that, I was like, huh. And then as I watched it, I was like, holy shit, like, like you said, she's thinking of someone. Like, I was thinking, did she know Connor? Because that was one of the things is that in previous years, everyone had the pin, everyone had the shirts on and stuff like that. And when they first came out, I saw where they stopped. And the first thing I noticed that Rhea had a Connoisseur shirt tucked into her pants.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, at least Rhea's doing it, and then seeing her, I was like, oh shit, this to me means something to her because of someone or something. And, this is hitting home for her or to her.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly the impression I got too. That's why I wanted to ask you about it, because I saw other people kind of shitting on it a little bit, and no, I felt like there was something else going on there. I do really like this year's. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you rewatch it, like to me, I heard like the trembling in her voice a couple times.
Yeah.
Where it was like the oh shit, like she's holding it back, like she might just burst out in tears.
Yeah, she's struggling to get through it, and Nikki's coaching her through. Which also makes Nikki all that much more amazing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But I also really like the new Connor's Cure shirt, that navy blue.
I haven't even seen it, truthfully. I briefly looked at it and I was like, all right, it's similar to the other one, but I didn't get it good enough. And like I said, the only way I saw it was on Rhea.
Yeah, you should pull it up, or maybe I'll send you a picture of it. It's navy blue, so it's really cool. I like it. I like when they do ones that aren't all black.
They had the red one. Was it last year or the year before?
Yeah. Yeah, they had a couple red ones and stuff. I just mean in general when we get a cool wrestling shirt. But but that does lead us into the match. Rhea Ripley, Nikki ASH defeat Tamina and Natalya for the women's tag team championships. The only thing about this that annoys me is that Shotzi and Tegan have won the number one contender spot 3 times now.
Yes.
So at the very least, I want them to go up against this team, but this team can't lose the first go. So I was really hoping they'd go to Shotzi Tegan.
Yeah. Or at least give a kayfabe injury or something.
Yeah.
You know, hey, they're unable to perform. Because that was the other thing on SmackDown when the Street Profits were mouthing off, you know, oh, there's going to be a party, there's going to be food, and blah, blah, blah. They even said, you know, Shotzi's bringing her tank. I think they said Shotzi and Knox are coming with the tank, hopefully. And then I didn't hear because I wasn't paying that close attention.
Yeah, I kind of turned it down. I turned it down when they were talking.
Yeah. But, you know, we haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah.
But every time we've seen them, they've been beating the champions, and now somebody else is the champions.
Yeah. 100%. That's the thing that gets me.
Yeah. And truthfully, because when the match was going on, I was like, cool. But I wanted, because, you know, Rhea and Nikki feel like another one of those, oh, just put them together. They'll be a tag. And that's exactly what they are. And I'm like, I don't like it. It's whatever. They seem to be gelling all right together. Cool. You know. But at the same time, I kind of wanted them to win because Tamina and Natty really haven't done crap with them.
That's the thing that sucked is they did so much to get there, and we were so excited. We were so happy they were going to get it. And they did this whole consider them warned thing that was like just made them look like total badasses. They win the titles, and then they promptly lose almost every match they've had since they're champions. Like, I don't think it was a bad title
Singles
reign.
and doubles.
Yeah. But I do think that it was really bizarre. I'm really happy they won it. I do think they were dominant champions for a period of time, and I think that it really fell to shit pretty quick as far as, like, nope, they just keep losing, and then eventually this was the team they lost to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I just kind of wanted a little bit more for Natty and Tamina.
Yeah, I did too. Like, I wanted them to like actually have some feuds. You know, it's all been one-sided, and they've been on the short end of the stick during, you know, these mini feuds with Shotzi and Knox, and who was the other one that they went up against before?
Who?
I forget. I was trying to think of the other tag team that Natty and Tamina went up against before Shotzi and Knox.
Oh, you're right. There was a team that they were going up against. I mean, they went up against the Riot Squad a few times.
Yeah.
I mean, and there was all those teams they threw together, but
yeah. But you know, even after the match, I was like, cool, they won. I was excited for Nikki and Rhea. But you know what this immediately reminded me of?
Huh.
Is Kofi Mania. Kofi Mania got the belt. Everything was great. This was so great. And all of a sudden, he just loses it to Brock. And then that was it. Then he goes for the tag titles. And that's exactly what they did with Nikki.
Yeah.
They're pushing her as a single title or a single competitor. She was doing great. She was, you know, gaining momentum. She won Money in the Bank. She cashed in. She won. Then she immediately loses it and then goes for the tag title.
Yep. Yeah. 100%. They push her all the way to the top, and then I mean, here's the thing too: is that you can't say that like Nikki's buried by any means. She's doing a thing. She's getting her new merch. You got signs out there. She's got another title. In the short time she's been on the main roster, she's held almost every single title she can. You know what I mean? Like, she's not nobody. She's the first ever 3-time women's tag champion. So she's not buried by any means, but there is a sense of like, I mean, just same as I would say that about Kofi. Kofi's never been buried. He just got shifted. You know what I mean? You can't break him.
Yeah, but it was the change of gears. It was the, all right, well, I'm not a singles champion anymore. I'm just going to go for the tag.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's like, I want a little bit more. Like, I know they don't say automatic rematches anymore unless you're certain people like Charlotte.
Yeah.
But, you know, I wanted them a little more fight. Like, hey, I got that. Like, you know, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? And even if they don't accomplish it, fine, but don't just immediately. Because how quick was it when Kofi lost to Brock that he tagged up with Woods and became tag champions again.
Yeah,
It was within
like
a
couple
month,
weeks.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. So I just think it was funny the similarities in their two runs, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I don't believe that they make those kind of compromises or decisions. They're like, well, we're going to take this title from you, but we give you this title to make it okay. Like, I don't believe they do shit like that, but it does feel that way sometimes.
I don't think. Yeah. I hope they don't do that, but
Afterwards, speaking of screwed out of the title, we did get the segment with Charlotte and Alexa on Alexa's Playground. Dude, I think we forgot to talk about it last week, but the Boston crowd was so fucking on fire for everything Alexa was saying, chanting for the doll, and I was like,
I
guess that's...
we went over that.
We did, right? And I was thinking to myself,
Yeah.
I was like, well, Boston's like that, I guess Boston's just kind of crazy, they're into it. And then this week, this crowd in Knoxville was chanting for the Charlie doll, completely behind it, super interactive with this segment.
Yeah.
People fucking
Tennessee.
love this. Knoxville, Tennessee. Dude, people fucking love this stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And and that's the thing I think is funny because I'm not on Twitter regularly, but I still get like shit, like random, like, oh, this tweet's recommended for you type of thing.
Yeah.
And like, there's so many people that shit on Alexa and like, oh, this is bullshit. This is Bray's theme or Bray's thing, not theme, and gimmick, and now they're giving it to her and she's doing a shitty job with it. Blah blah blah. No one likes it. I saw a tweet from I don't remember if it was a retweet from Meltzer, or I think it was Meltzer at least, that said, oh, during this Alexa Charlotte thing, I think he said 1,500 fans got up and left the stadium or arena.
Yeah.
And I was like, so the whole time I was sitting there watching it, I'm like, no one's going up the fucking stairs.
No.
Did it happen? Maybe. I doubt it.
No, well, it's just it.
We only see
Alexa, Charlotte, Dewdrop, fucking a bunch of fans who were in attendance all tweeted out pictures of stuff and talked about it and said that absolutely did not happen. It just flat out didn't happen.
Really? Nice. Good.
Yeah, and a ton of fans were like, no, it didn't happen. But remember, we talked about it too when we were at SummerSlam and Smackdown. Remember, I was like, when I was like, oh, here comes the Drew McIntyre segment, I'm going to go run to the stands. I'll be alone. A lot of people love him. I was surprised by how many people filled up the concessions area with me, and a lot of people being like, oh, yeah, I don't care for Drew, which surprised me because I didn't expect that. I thought I was kind of alone in that. But it also made me think, the reason he gets a big reaction is the only people who stay are people who want to see him, and the people who don't want to see him because of where he's placed in the card is a perfect place to go to the bathroom and to go to the concessions. That's not to knock him. It's just to say that you get a big reaction that way. And also, no one left the fucking stadium in any of those. They all went back.
Yeah.
And one final note, the
100%.
main event still hadn't happened. It was Big E versus Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley. Not one motherfucker bought a ticket to that show and did not want to see that match.
Yeah, exactly. Like, nope, I'm done. Oh, wait, these guys weren't in Knoxville, by the way.
These guys what?
Now that I said that, that was SmackDown. These guys weren't in Knoxville. They were in North Carolina. They were at NC State.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, sorry. I just realized I was wrong. Just got to correct myself when I said Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, like, I saw that. So, because, I saw that tweet, and I was like, huh. So then, like I said, I'm just watching. I was like, no one left. Everyone's cheering. Like, I thought, I was expecting this to be a bad segment. And don't get me wrong, ugh. It kind of was, but it kind of wasn't. Like, Charlotte just, to me, the last couple things with Charlotte and Nia, and now Charlotte and Alexa, like, it feels like, and, maybe I'm just getting worked, and I'm okay with that. I'll drink some Old Crow. But it feels like there's like actual animosity between them. And like, this is stupid, and it's like,
yeah. There was a shift in Alexa's voice.
There was a couple times where she went from the, oh my God, look at this, to like almost like like you said, that fucking bitch, like.
Yeah. It was,
you.
oh, you want to get personal? I would love to get personal. Oh, and don't worry. Like, I love that you're doing that. And then it was back to, here's the deal with you and the problem with you. And it was like, fuck. I found myself absolutely captivated by this segment.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I wanted to rewatch it because I think most of my focus was trying to listen to the crowd. Is this piped in music? Are they booing?
Yeah.
Are people leaving? And I wanted to just see like I said, what feels to me like true animosity between the two.
I really felt that tension too. Zoodad coming through the chat real quick saying he hopes I taste a fart. You know what's wild is I think he just popped in. He doesn't realize I've had like 12 farts on this show so far. So joke's on him. I am tasting
Baker's
fart.
dozen.
Yeah. It's a baker's dozen. Cheers.
Cheers.
Mhm.
Cheers, Dad.
Don't you look like an idiot. I am tasting fart, dumbass. Mhm. But yeah, I found myself feeling that tension and thinking like something's up here. And then to the point where when they finally had to get physical, I'm watching them and being like, are they going to fucking really hit each other here? You know what I mean? Like I was kind of watching like, fuck, this feels way personal. Which, to be honest, it's what you want out of your wrestling, right? That supreme suspension of disbelief of, is there real fucking animosity here, or are these people just going through the story? And this felt like there's something here. It was crazy. It was crazy good. I will say that to me, the beginning part of Charlotte's promo before Alexa got to start talking was like, okay, it was fine. It was what it was, whatever. I wasn't that enthralled with it. Once Alexa started talking, every moment of their back and forth on both sides became absolutely riveting. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So I would say that even Alexa was able to up Charlotte's game in that regard as well. But yeah, a couple of things that got tweeted out, just so you know. Some fan tweeted out, PNC was packed the entire night, showing pictures of people during that segment standing on their feet. Dewdrop go, yo, middle-aged white dude, it's a long show. Maybe some parts of it aren't made for you. And then Alexa Bliss tweeted out, I would really love to know who these sources always are, in quotes, because the stuff that they come up with is quite ridiculous and sounds just like someone starving for attention. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
And then she also tweeted out, sorry, Meltzer, or whatever. You can't get clout off our segment. Move on. Hashtag stop lying. Hashtag literally didn't happen. Hashtag you're embarrassing yourself. It's fucking dope.
Nice.
Yeah, I loved it. But yeah, dude, when I saw that thing from Meltzer, it's like you just so desperately have to be right that you're willing to literally lie about what's going on to try and push that narrative that you're always right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fucking ridiculous, man.
It is.
Yeah. I don't know what it was, or where it was. I'd have to pull it up, but JBL tweeted back in like 2018 something along the lines of like, I still find it funny that so many people subscribe to Meltzer because he was always so useful to us in the business in terms of, I forget how I worded it. I have to find it because, I mean, you know how those you only get 100 characters or some shit, but he said that he finds it funny so many people still listen to Meltzer because they found him such a perfect utility during the Attitude Era in getting out the information they wanted in order to lie to the audience. And he's like, the fact that people still listen to him is amusing to him because everyone knew that Meltzer was doing all that shit, so everyone fed Meltzer what they wanted to be out there, lie or otherwise, to work the audience.
Yeah.
He was just a big tool. And the fact that everyone's all like, oh, he really knows what's going on. No, he just is the biggest tool in the business. People are using him left and right. You know what I mean?
And he's still a big tool.
Yeah, still a big tool. Bishop does say, fuck Dave Meltzer. Said it since episode 1. My next, his next is 112. Dirt sheets are trash. I know, dude. That's what I'm saying. That's why we make up shit as we go here. But I did want to just throw that out there just because it was out there. And like we said, we saw people moving in the stadiums on those shows we were there, but we didn't see fucking anyone leave, and nobody else did either. And the fuck are people listening to Dave Meltzer for?
Mhm.
It's just stupid. But the segment was incredible. Including the audience chanting Charlie. Dude, when Alexa went to go get the doll, she goes to grab it, and right before she stands up, she realizes the audience is chanting, so she just stops.
Yeah. Yeah.
She stops and looks towards the audience. She looks towards Charlotte a little bit, and she milks it. She lets the crowd get louder for it, and then she popped with it, and I was like, that's fucking great. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because you could tell she was just gonna go over there, grab it, and be like, "Look, I got it." And then,
Yeah.
she stops. The crowd's chanting, and then she's like, "All right, give it to me. Wait for it. Wait for it." And then brought Charlie back.
And dude, the fact she used the
Good
same
stuff.
line twice. Alexa never uses the same insult twice. But the fact she used the same one from last week about her being a self-absorbed bitch or whatever,
Yeah.
really, that felt a little personal too. It's like, why would you use the same line twice? That's kind of stupid, unless you know it hurt her feelings and you want to do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you weren't such a self-absorbed bitch, it's like,
Yeah.
say it again. 'Cause we all want to.
Yeah, everyone's like, woo!
Yeah.
Let's see. 24/7 segment. Anything you say about that? I do like Drake Maverick back, but, take it or leave it.
I actually didn't see it.
Oh, okay. Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus to get into the match for the U.S. title. Dude, I love this fucking match. And Sheamus takes his fucking face brace thing off, and he, fucking broke his nose again. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. See, and that, just goes to show, Sheamus as a performer. I'm just wondering if he got hit again and he could feel it bleeding. And he's like, all right, I'm taking it off.
Oh, yeah. Fuck it.
And just, I could dive into this. Like, he broke my nose again. I couldn't breathe with my mask on. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Loved it.
100%.
And I thought it
So
was
good.
cool, too, because to me, it felt like this little stipulation that it was like, oh, if Jeff Hardy wins, he's going to be added. And I'm like, well, they're not going to add him. It's always pretty much just been between Sheamus and Priest.
Yeah.
And then when Hardy won, it was one. I was like, oh shit, cool, all right,
Yeah,
nice,
it's great.
triple threat.
Yeah.
Extreme rules.
Yeah, 100%.
Only
I
one
like Damian
Extreme
Priest on
Rules.
commentary, too. I thought they did great.
Yeah, and I like that he kept Corey kept trying to egg him on, like, yo, the odds would be against you if Jeff Hardy wins, and he's just like, yeah, well, I shouldn't be here if that's what I'm worried about. And I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then he was like cheering Jeff Hardy, and I was like, that's cool. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't make
That's
him look dumb like some of those other spots kind of.
It's
do
really
when
easy to
people
look
try and
stupid
do
in
that.
those. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought he looked like a real stand-up badass. He was great. That does bring us to the main event, dude. Triple threat: Big E, Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns. I'm gonna let you tell me what you think of it.
I'm yawning. Yeah, excuse me.
Oh, son of a bitch! I shouldn't have gone to you.
Yeah, I know. This is just perfect time, and I was like, "Oh, he's gonna talk." Shit.
Deflect.
Yeah. I thought the match was great. I loved every aspect of it except for the finish, and maybe that's once again what they wanted because give us because what I was expecting was Big E wins to make him look like a strong champion, but he gets the win over Bobby.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure, all right, this is what's going to happen. And Roman got the win over Bobby, which, I was like, whatever. Big E hasn't been winning his matches since becoming champion. I know that they involve other people, but he's still been taking the L's.
I mean, yes and no. I think that Big E looked like he could win it at any moment.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to sit there and say, hey, he didn't look good. He looked great. Like all three of them looked great in it. They look like, and that's what you want. You want when people are performing, you want to see that each person has a chance to win.
Yeah.
Especially on a main event match like that. So I'm not taking away that Big E didn't look strong or good or anything like that. Like he looked great. I just wanted him to get the win. And technically, since being WWE champion, he's what, 1-2? I know they don't count records, but I do.
Yeah, something like that. But at the same time, they're not one-on-one matches. I do think what it does, though, is it builds that desire to see him win big again. You know what I mean? So the next one you see, hopefully he'll get a big win and be a big moment again where it's all like, yeah, he deserves this. He's supposed to be here. He's earned it. And at this point, it's still like, fuck, what did he just get lucky? He beat Bobby Lashley in that one, but it's like, was that just a good night because he was riding the high of having the title? You know what I mean? Like, you could really play all that if you're trying to, dig into the psychology of what's going on in these characters' heads as they get there. Especially in the sports environment, you know what I mean? This fighter's on a win streak, and I mean, you've talked about it, you know more about it than I do. One person catches one loss, and then hey, that could be it for their whole career. They might never catch a win again because they're in their own head forever now.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Ronda Rousey, one of the greatest to ever do it. She catches one loss and then just falls to pieces. You know what I mean? And that is it.
Yeah. That was kind of crazy. She talked about suicide and she was depressed and like, whoa.
Yeah,
get out of sports if you lose and you want to kill yourself.
Yeah, you're a real poor sport now I think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But no, I mean, she's one of the greatest ever. She just, her career ended the way that it ended, or seemingly to have ended. I mean, you don't know, but that's what I mean. When you're in the athletic world, the idea of them getting in their own heads when they're at peak performances and stuff, that's a real thing, a real phenomenon that we see. So it's one of those things where it's well, now Big E's kind of an underdog again, even as a champion, because he's not been able to hold his hand up the same way again. And maybe he was on a win streak, and maybe he feels like he's on a lose streak now. And I think it just plays with that emotion,
Yeah.
And everyone looked not even just character strong, but physically strong. The fact that Bobby Lashley got Roman Reigns into that stalled suplex, whatever he calls it.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, dude. You're like, Roman Reigns is huge. And Bobby's like, yeah, no, I got him. What? I forget some of the other stuff that Big E was doing, but he was just carrying around Roman like he was a fucking towel on his shoulder.
Yeah. He's I'm playing with my kids, just pick him up and be like, all right, cool.
Yeah, got to get you over here now. It was incredible.
Yeah.
They all were doing so good, and nothing looked super. Everything looked real fucking stiff and difficult, and it looked like a struggle, and it looked like a fight. And I found myself watching this at the edge of my seat, just this is fucking incredible. I can't believe this is on TV right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was, like I said, it was great. I just, I was just expecting the outcome to be different, and I don't want to sit there and say I didn't like it because Roman won. It just, proves the dominance of Roman right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Bishop's on his way out. We are too. So that was the last call for Bishop. Cheers to you, Bishop. Thank you for coming through. He says he's going to catch up the rest of the podcast later. But yeah, I love this segment. I loved this episode of Raw. I thought it was so fucking good, just as far as enjoyment from beginning to end, and at different times being like, oh shit, we're halfway through it already. There was a number of times where I lost track of time, and that doesn't normally happen with Raw to begin with. And we've talked about it before. I do think a lot of it has to do with commercial breaks dragging the show on, but there is something to be said by getting so wrapped up into it that you're running to the bathroom on the commercials and running back. You're taking advantage of the commercial breaks and then getting back to your seat. You know what I mean? As opposed to lingering during the commercial breaks and being like, what did I miss while I was gone? Oh, okay, I guess that's fine. I missed that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anything else you thought we missed that you want to talk about?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Touched on everything.
Yeah, a little of this, a little of that. I think it was a really fun week. I think I'm loving NXT 2.0. We're going to talk about that more tomorrow. I watched one match for Dynamite, so I'm sure Amanda is going to have a lot to say about it. And hopefully Clump will have seen at least the opening match there too, so we can break that down tomorrow on our next episode 1 of the Dive Bar in our Thursday Night Chaser. If you're good, man, I'll run this to the ground right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Guys, I'm at Ref Marsh. That's Kevlar on the Rocks. We are WOTR the show. This is the Dive Bar of the IWC Wrestling on the Rocks, where every show is our first show. And we will be back for a brand new episode 1 tomorrow night. That's the last call, everybody.
Cheers.
Hey, producer lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support us or buy us a drink by following and putting the I in subscribe on Twitch. Or subscribe and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Cheers!
I would never have a drink with wrestling on the rocks.